Is that still the case?
That is correct, Chantel. Highway 16 in both directions near Guernsey is still shut down to traffic. It has been since just after 6 o'clock this morning when the derailment first happened.
In terms of just the basic safety next to this railway.
And Melissa, that's exactly it. The majority of residents that we spoke to when we were on scene of the derailment yesterday, most of them saying we just no longer feel safe that trains are coming through our communities.
Quite the wake-up call for you this morning, but we're glad to hear that no one was injured and that the fire is under control at the moment. Well, right now I can tell you that there is still a very distinct smell of burnt wood in the air, and fire investigators are still hard at work combing through the rubble inside what is left of this home, trying to figure out what may have caused this fire. I, as you mentioned, spoke to many neighbors this morning who all describe hearing a loud bang just after 2:30, and when they looked outside, they saw this 2.5-story home engulfed in flames and heard people screaming for help. Neighbors believe this was a rental property with 7 people living inside the multi-unit home. According to the Saskatoon Fire Department, 6 people were able to get out. 2 of them went to hospital. 1 was found dead inside the home.
Here at 33rd Street and Avenue P, you can see the strong wind has caused a very large tree to break and fall onto the roadway.
Alone yesterday, there was 15 to 20 centimeters of fresh snow that fell. So think about overnight as that starts to freeze, that freezing rain. It is very slippery. It is very slick.
Damage caused to vehicles parked along a Prince Albert Street has left a student with another expensive repair bill. And as Lisa Rism explains, this is the 4th time his vehicle has been hit. Time now to take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers. Yesterday, the province reported 274 new cases, bringing the total of active cases to 4,700 across Saskatchewan. 1 more person has died. That person was in their 60s and from the Regina area. Of the new cases announced, 72 are in Saskatoon. Saskatchewan RCMP have charged 7 people with breaking public health orders in the month of November. 4 of those charges are for individuals not self-isolating. Looks like the 5-month labor battle between Saskatoon Co-op and its workers is coming to an end. A person with the union tells CTV the membership has voted in favor of accepting a tentative agreement. The director of negotiations for the union local says the second-tier wage system still exists, but the wage gap has been reduced. He says the contract has been extended a further 3 years with a 2% increase for each year of the contract. He says this means the strike is officially over. Co-op employees have been walking the picket lines since November of last year. The province is facing calls from a local advocacy group pushing for change when it comes to combating gangs. The provincial and federal governments have said they will make a cash commitment aimed at breaking down gang violence and the cycle that goes along with it. But as Ashley Field reports, some say it's just not enough.
As you see that silver all the way, you can pull the heat away, and that is a finished joint.
And that's how you put pipes together?
That's how you solder and put copper pipes together, and that's something that the women learned this past week in their plumbing portion.
I'm gonna try it on my own. Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm a snowboarder. I'm a snowboarder. I'm a snowboarder. No!
This morning's projects are going to be what I call art from the heart. Wait, does dry go into wet or does wet go into dry?
Wet into dry.
I don't remember.
My God. Oh, okay. I'm down. It's fine. We're good. Either way, I better practice some more.
With flames and smoke billowing in the air, firefighters knew they would have to act fast to get not only 1, but 2 house fires under control in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood Sunday evening. That's when the decision was made to use the fire department's newest tool, the Extinguish FST, a fire suppression grenade that helps suffocate the flames.
Try a little bit Mix it up. Oh, I like that color. Good job.
Locke Willie and his daughter Kiara spend hours in their workshop cutting and painting colorful wooden wings. It's an idea that began as a fun activity for the single dad and his 14-year-old daughter. Now the at-home project is being shared with the community.
A lot of it is to just spread joy and happiness and to help create a moment for people when they find them, to maybe capture a picture, share it on Instagram, or to maybe bring back a memory of a lost loved one.
One of the latest set of wings honors missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, something that has special meaning for Willie.
As we were making them, my mom informed me that I had a cousin who was murdered, and it kind of really changed how the wings felt for us, and it gave Kiara and I an opportunity to talk about some pretty hard things.
And while some of the wings spark conversations about important social issues, others reflect on memories dad and daughter have shared together.
It brings me closer to my dad, I think, definitely, and it's fun working together, thinking, wow, we created these, and now they're out and people see them and take photos with them, and we're spreading that joy with others.
The project has been a way for Willie and his daughter to connect. Some of the more intricate designs take the duo more than 40 hours to complete.
It is a very powerful moment when they first come together, because all the work and the ideas that have gone in to see it realized, and especially with the Murdered Missing Indigenous Women set, it was just sit down, let emotion wash over you, and just look at this beautiful thing that you had a hand in creating. It is special.
The set of wings honoring missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls can be found here at 301 First Avenue North. This is just one of the sets on display in downtown Saskatoon. There are 15 different sets of wings dispersed throughout the downtown core as part of a physically distant scavenger hunt for families.
From the nutrient Corey potash mine in Saskatchewan.
Sounding the back, making sure it's nice and tight will create, the potential that could really hurt people, right?
Mike Kleider has been working in the mining industry for nearly 3 decades.
We do a lot of preventative bolting, making sure it's area safe. Even if we're unsure, you bolt it up to hold up the rock.
But even with proactive safety measures, potentially dangerous situations are still an everyday reality for Kleider and hundreds of other miners.
Everybody over the years have been in refuge. I think the longest that I've ever was in was about 6 hours, right? And that was, there again, we had a small fire.
And then the people would just hang out here, so power and lights and fans.
According to Kleider, mining is like a chess game. Planning ahead and recognizing hazards is key.
Doing the scaling to making sure there's no pieces that are potentially, when we're actually mining, things get dusty. So you want to do that prior to any work gets done.
This elevator shaft brings miners down 3,300 feet below the surface, where they work for hours in a constant 28 degrees Celsius. And as we've experienced today, not only is it very hot and dry underground, but workers also have to deal with a thick taste of salt and dust.
You are so loved and cared for. Do not let anyone tell you different. I know that you are beautiful, amazing, and kind. Whatever it is that you're going through, you'll get through this.
You can see tears well up in Daniel Bear's eyes as he reads one of the letters written by grades 7 and 8 students at St. Josephat School in Regina.
I wasn't expecting emotions. I'm not used to that, being emotional. It's kind of hard out there once in a while, but you kind of get used to negative people.
The project is called Letters to No One. Students wrote and illustrated dozens of cards, each one filled with messages of hope and encouragement.
Writing a letter to someone gives them an opportunity to share their voice, gives them an opportunity to make someone's day a little bit better. So it's a way to give back without expecting anything in return.
You are loved by all. This morning I kind of had a bad morning, but now this made me feel a lot better.
The Salvation Army says these letters could not come at a better time. With the pandemic, the organization is at full capacity in both its men's shelter and transitional housing unit, and are always appreciative when community members can help keep spirits high.
I love the way that they were written, all the affirmation and the positive message. They need to know that as human beings, we all make mistakes. But we always, as long as we are on this earth, we have hope.
I know it can be hard sometimes. By these hard days, people might try to hurt verbally, but you are strong and you can get back up.
If you go out and show gratitude to others, or if you go out and give kindness to others, you're going to feel that kindness in return.
After reading his letter, Daniel Bear says he plans to bring it home to his daughter so she too can help pay it forward and spread kindness to the community, an idea he hopes will snowball so more students can get involved.
Whether you have plans to put pen to paper to help spread positivity or are looking for other ways to give back, with the cold weather sticking around here in Saskatoon, the Salvation Army is in need of winter gear for men. Janella Hamilton, CTV News, Saskatoon.